Hello friends, welcome to the Neurolicious podcast.
This is a space where we can talk openly about parenting neurodiverse kids.
I'm Emily, founder and director of Mummel Road, an NDIS registered autism specific service. I'm also the mum of 3 kids and my eldest has a ton of neurospice.
And I'm Kylie. I'm a paediatric occupational therapist who has a special interest in ADHD, autism and building connection with kids who don't really seem to like anyone.
We are the brains trust you need.
And we hope the Neurolicious podcast helps you learn a few things and feel not so alone.
So settle in for another episode on Neurolicious. Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Kylie.
And together we are the Neurolicious podcast. We acknowledge the Wanneroo people, the traditional keepers of the land we are recording this podcast on. Episode number 1. We're into it.
We are. So Em, tell me, what gave you the idea to start this podcast and what's it about?
Really great question, Kylie. Well, I've been looking for a podcast that covers what we're going to be talking about and discussing with specialists in the field and between you and I. One that really takes into account lived experiences and tries to solve some of the problems that parents are facing today. And you know what? I can't really find it, so let's make it ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
We're the best people for this job. Why? Because we're both professionals in this field. Kyles, what are you up to these days?
So I'm in like the last month of my occupational therapy degree.
Woohoo, snaps all round.
I know, I'm so excited. Just pushing myself to get it done.
Can we get the champagne ready yet?
Yes. I'm a mother of 3. I'm in my very early 40s.
She still looks 20.
And I love to talk. So this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm loving it.
Kylie, I understand you professionally are amazing, but personally,
Yeah.
why are you a good person to be on a podcast about neurodiverse thinking and neurodivergence?
So I am a late in life diagnosed ADHD person.
Woohoo!
And generally, I think while I was doing my degree, I just started to see a lot of things that were kind of ticking boxes for me in my life. When I was younger, I always felt like I fell a little left of centre, but I was always very good at pretending and faking it till I made it. But underneath knowing that something wasn't quite right and like I wanted to do really well, but just sort of failing to launch on a lot of things. And along with my diagnosis came a lot of self-acceptance and understanding that I'm not broken. It's just that my brain works differently to a lot of other people. And with starting the conversation and explaining that to people comes understanding and kindness. So I just really want to get the word out that having ADHD or another neurodivergent characteristic or neurodiverse, whichever way you prefer to discuss that, isn't a bad thing. You just need to find your tribe and enter life with kindness because, you know, it doesn't have to be an uphill struggle all the time.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah.
I found you. You're my tribe.
Yeah, you're my tribe too. I just think I won the lottery.
We're just tribing together here, everyone.
Yes. So,
It's
Em,
great.
you tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the mum of 3 as well. Really grateful to have 3 beautiful children. My eldest son, who now is, goodness me, 14, is divine. He received a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder when he was 3. He does have a number of other additional needs. So he has an intellectual disability and ADHD, which make his symptoms or some of the things that he does noticeably different when we're in the community. So, but he is the most beautiful human that I've met. Don't tell my other kids that.
No, he is amazing. Like, I love hanging out with him.
We love him.
Yeah.
And you guys will hear a lot about him. His name's Charlie B. We've got his consent to chat about him on this podcast. He's a bit of a celebrity around where we live in Maitland, in the Hunter Valley. And he has been a bit of a shining light for the autism community around our area. He has 2 younger siblings who are my 2 younger children. I've got a have to think about this, a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. And they're also amazing. Together, we make our own little tribe, and none of us would be where we're at today unless it was for Charlie B. He's really set the tone for our family, and we just love him to bits. So what I want to do is share my insight into being the parent of a child on the spectrum, because while there's lots that I know and lots that professionally that I understand, life is not always easy.
No.
But it doesn't mean that it's not bloody fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So there's lots to chat about. Today, we want to look at the school holidays. In New South Wales, in Australia, they are wrapping up today.
Yes.
And look, we need to unpack that. There's a lot to chat about when it comes to school holidays.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I feel like towards the end of the term, like I'm really burnt out and just surviving, to like just begging for holidays.
Totally.
And then you get to the holidays and it's like, oh, that's right. You're at home and you want to be entertained all the time and you want...
There's humans in my home.
Yes, and you want to eat. Okay, so it brings another set of challenges that are fun, but it's a different level of demand than when you're at school through the term.
Yes. Just on that note, Kylie, with your ADHD, when it comes to the end of the term and you mention, the word burnout or just you're just sort of holding on by a thread.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? Like, does that feeling, what does that feel like, and what does that look like in your home?
Sure. So I try to start the term off with really good routines. So I don't put off till tomorrow what I can do today, and I have all of the kids' clothes ready and prompting them to be ready for the next day. But as the term sort of goes on and I get more tired, especially with my uni demands and work demands, I find that I start to slip, and quite quickly the kids will slip too. So towards the end of the term, things are a lot more stressful. The energy seems to be a lot more tense in the house. We're all trying to get out to school on time. I live about 15 minutes away from my kids' school, and as I get closer and closer to those school holidays, I feel like it's closer and closer to the start of school where we're screaming into the driveway and I'm kicking about like, I'm sorry, I'll do better tomorrow. And I never do better tomorrow because I'm just like holding on by a thread.
Yeah.
And I used to be really hard on myself about that because it's like everybody else seems to be doing it. Why can't I just do these basic things? Where now I am a lot kinder to myself, and in that case my kids don't get stressed about it either because they understand. They're like, oh, this is just the way that mum is and she's doing the best that she can.
Oh, I love that.
And
acceptance.
They actually understand that I am just one person, and so they sort of help me to help them, I guess, which is really great.
Yeah.
And they do understand that I'm not coming from a place of evil.
No.
I'm not doing it to sabotage their education or anything like that. So, yeah, I feel like communicating my struggles with the day-to-day really helps them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just on that note, so just to give you a bit of context, Kylie has had many years experience in the classroom as an SLSO or a teacher's aide. She's also completed, in a few weeks, an occupational therapy degree. She's had years of experience with supporting families to do this. And yet this is a really good point that you can know all the things and life is still not easy sometimes. Yeah. So I think that it's really important that together, now you're our tribe and we're our tribe.
Yeah.
To just be a bit kinder on ourselves.
Yeah.
Some days are good, some days are tricky, and to know when to apply your energy. Is that what you believe?
Absolutely. And I feel like I saw this on TikTok or something, but someone once explained that the neurodiverse community take things really literally. So I used to think when someone said, just give it your 100%, that meant literally 100% of what I could give on the best day my best day, best rested day, that's what I should be doing every day. Where now I understand that sometimes I'm going to wake up and I only have 50% to give. But giving 100%, I shouldn't give the full 50% that day because I've got to make it through the whole day.
Yes.
And it's accepting that and working with my motivation. So there's some days where I'll wake up and walk out into my kitchen and go, today's the day. And I just deep clean everything. And then
hyper
there's
focus going on there.
It's like actually harnessing that and going with it as opposed to fighting that urge because there's something else that needs to be done. Because I know that if I give myself that, I'm still ticking off something that needs to be done, and I'm allowing myself to blow off that energy, which will allow me to sit and do the actual thing I should be doing that day, if that makes sense. So currently I have 2 assignments that I should have started 3 days ago. But, you know, like when the shed wall needs to be painted, it just needs to be painted. And I can't fight it.
100%.
Where I used to try and sit and do the assignment while I'm constantly thinking about the shed wall.
Do you think you'd get credit for this podcast? Because we could tag your university professor. Do you think this is credit? If anyone's listening,
I would love that.
I reckon.
Legit. Please.
I reckon we could tag your professor. Be like, look, this is actually really helpful. We're unpacking a lot of really good things here. Be a bit kinder on Kylie with the last 2 assignments. There is a shed wall to be built and she's doing a podcast.
Absolutely. You don't realise these other things that are happening.
Totally. Well, on that note, with the school holidays as well, I noticed that when you're talking about your energy levels and where you apply it, I find in the school holidays, there are some days when I have tolerance and I do lots of things for the kids, and other days I just need a little bit of time, maybe 30 minutes to just do something myself or just have a bit of time. And I tend to find if my children see me, they call out to me and ask for Mum. No, it's not Mum. Mum.
Yeah.
That's about Mum.
Yeah, I was thinking, wow.
Mum. It's like a little lamb, a lamb. My kids are not little anymore, but they sound like lambs. And then, of course, the request that comes after, could you get me a drink of water? I just really want to, I'm on my way to A and B. I just want to get something done. And so what I find myself doing is kind of sneaking around my house, back against the wall. Yeah. And we'll put this on our social media of me
absolutely
crawling around my home.
Yes.
So that my kids don't see me, just so I can have a little bit of time without being always requested of. A silly little request that they can do. They're all very capable. And so that's my gripe about the school holidays. Yes. When I have energy for that, I do. And other times I just needed 20 minutes to be in my own little bubble.
Absolutely. And also that whole thing, you can do that.
100%.
If I wasn't here, you're capable of getting the drink of water. It's making me get the drink of water.
100%. And I think though, Kylie, with my kids, because Charlie is the eldest and he has had to have substantial support. So he's ASD level 3. And I know some people don't like to use the levels as a description, but it does offer the fact that he needs substantial support.
Absolutely.
So he is the eldest, so he needs constant supervision. Unless he's sitting at the TV or his iPad or when I know that he's safe. So sometimes with the younger kids, they've grown up with me always being there because I've been there for Charlie.
Yes.
So I feel like in a way, I love that they know that I'm there for them, but they're very capable.
Yes.
Very super intelligent, capable human beings. And so there's a line when I say, I love you all the same, but you do not need the support that he does, so you can definitely get your drink of water.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm sure there are people out there that have that same thing when their eldest has additional needs.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear the insights of families that are in that case, the differences when the eldest has additional needs compared to when the youngest does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that in other cases where the youngest does, the elder may help out a little bit more and be like, I'll get them a drink of water. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
That must be really hard, Em. I find it really hard with my kids to sort of explain that I love you all equally, but no, we haven't all been created equal. So
100%.
you can do this and should do this for yourself, even though maybe somebody else who is exactly the same age as you is not there yet. Like,
right. Kylie, I think this is the whole thing of our podcast, right? That sentence.
Yeah.
That's how we should be running our country.
Yes, like, because it's not about everybody having the exact same. It's everybody getting what they need.
100%.
Yes.
I would agree with that. So, Kylie, how your school holidays, we did mention that the end of term is tricky. But the school holidays, what's that been like for you in your home?
Well, just when you were talking about how you were trying to dodge your kids just to get a spare 20 minutes, it made me think about how I'll wake up in the morning and no one else is awake yet, and I just don't want to move because it's like they feel the vibe in the house change and everybody then starts to wake up, where I would love to just head out to the kitchen and have a cup of tea on my own. But the minute my feet hit the floor, it's like everybody's awake, cat wants something to eat, dog wants to go out, kids are up, they want breakfast. So I feel like I waste like 40 minutes at the start of the day. And mine are like 13, nearly 12 and 8. Like, they're not like babies, but still, I don't want them waking up before they're ready in the school holidays.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you ever think how funny that would be to try to explain that situation to someone that doesn't have kids? The fact that you have to, it's almost like a basic human right to be able to just get up and have a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah, but no, we are starved of that.
Yes,
we
and
do
to
not
say,
have
I can't move because when I get up, it's just all kinds of chaos at the one time.
Yes.
And to explain that, coherently to somebody that may not have children it's a thing. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I hear you on that.
Yeah. I love people that don't have kids yet, but I've always said I was the best parent before I had kids.
Totally.
The minute that I got a kid and I realised that they have free will and they do whatever they want, made parenting so much harder.
Well, I think you're amazing. Your kids are beautiful.
Well, they are, but it's not easy.
I've got total kid envy of your kids.
Oh, really? No, thank you. They're good out and about. They give me a hard time at home, but I'm okay with that.
Totally. Yeah.
Yes.
So, any positives from the school holidays? So, what were your one or two favourite things that happened in the school holidays?
Look, it's going to sound really cliche, but I feel like through the term we're so busy going here, there and everywhere. We never get time to sort of spend quality time together. And I was just at Coles the other day and I looked in those, how they have the new little section that they just sell random stuff in Coles. And I saw this game called Are You a Little Bit Crabby or A Little Bit Crabby or something like that. And it's a card game that you play. And we've sat down and played that card game together. And it's just so funny. And I've played games with the kids on the Switch and things like that that I don't usually get time to do.
Great.
Yes. So
that sounds so good.
Yeah. How about you? What about your...
Well, my fantastic thing from the holidays, I had a great school holidays, to be honest. It was really fun. But we went to a beachside village on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. And it was one of the places where, when you find a beach or a spot that ticks all the boxes. So you can find a spot where there's flat water and waves, and you can take your dog and it's not too busy and you can fish.
Oh my gosh, do not tell everybody.
No. I'm not naming any names.
You tell me after the podcast.
I will tell you because we're going back there. But we got there and there was no decisions. I could sit and see everyone and everyone was happy. And I was just like, I was like you in the morning. I was like, no one move.
Yes.
No one, we can't.
Don't even discuss it. Do not discuss the happiness at the moment.
And I was thinking, this is the spot. And, I think that it's my favourite place in Australia now.
Oh, that's amazing. I have one question.
What?
Was there a laundromat for Charlie B?
Oh, there was.
Yeah.
There was one laundromat, but our house also had a washing machine.
Oh,
but it didn't
good.
have a dryer, unfortunately. But we knew that on the Airbnb flyer, we knew there wasn't a dryer. So for context, everybody, Charlie B's special interest is washing machines and clothes dryers. Loves them. He's quite partial to the lawnmower as well, but the washing machine and dryer are his favourite. So when we go away, we do need to get the Airbnb rundown on what's there.
Yes.
And we do like to holiday in a town with a laundromat.
Yes.
So you're right. So there was one laundromat which was great, and we got to go in there. We tend to become a bit of a local celeb. We go in there every day. Charlie folds the sheets for the people, and he becomes a little bit of a local fan, and it's beautiful. So the routine tends to be like we drop in there, he'll start folding things. I quickly duck and get a coffee and come back and sit with him, and like that's his holiday. He's like, I'm set. I have to say that was a really great holiday. The other good part about my holidays, we did go holidaying up north with some other friends, and they're the most inclusive friends. They support Charlie B constantly. Yeah. And also if he's having a tricky day and he needs to be with me, they would completely accept and absorb my other children, make sure they're included.
That's fair. They're the friends you need.
Right? When you have a child with additional needs, you need to find that tribe. And when you do, it's brilliant. And these friends, and they'll know who they are, but I cannot give them enough kudos.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's filled my cup for today.
Oh, I know. I'm getting teary just thinking about it. Oh, it's lovely. I know. I get goosebumps as well.
I even find a good friend is somebody that understands that kids have bad days.
Yes.
So you don't have bad kids. They just have bad days. 100%. And, you know, I very much will shy away from somebody that side-eyes my child because they're not playing the game or doing exactly what they should be doing as a, in inverted commas, good child.
Mm-hmm. On that note, when you said that you shy away from people that give a side eye to kids, Kylie, do you know what I wouldn't put it past you to be like having a word.
Yeah.
I'm really relieved to hear that you shy away, because as you guys will get to know, Kylie, she tends to say what she thinks. Like there's, you know,
I say the quiet thing out loud.
She does,
but it is like, it's not in a aggressive way. It's in a way to work out and understand somebody. Like, what do you mean by that? Like what?
Let's chat. Let's explain.
Yes.
I think the school holidays, I mean, generally, would you say that it's been, if we took 2 steps forward in your school holidays, were there any back, or was it pretty positive, do you reckon?
This school holidays, I feel like it was pretty positive. Like, but I was very ambitious because where we live has a lot of work to be done. So I probably didn't get quite as much work around the farm as I wanted to.
Just, can I get context? Is that like a normal person's sort of work or your ADHD lens?
Oh, yeah, no, ADHD lens. Like I have no skills whatsoever and all of a sudden I think I can paint a wall. And I've been incubating my chicken eggs and hatching chickens and, you know, doing all these skills that I don't have. I'm doing all these activities that I have zero skills in.
I mean,
it's all learning.
It's learning. Yeah. No one has skills until they do it.
Exactly. So I just find that there's never enough hours in the day to do the fun things.
Yeah. I know. Well, I feel the same. My holidays have been pretty good. We've had some rip-roarers before in a bad way, where we've all arrived at the end of the holidays pretty broken. Just, it's been difficult. And I think that's fairly common with families around the world. But these holidays have been pretty good, I feel. I'm not too exhausted, which is great.
Yeah.
And so that's really great. We'd love to hear about how your holidays were going. We'd love photos or just recap about holidays, maybe even like a score out of 10. You know, how good were your holidays?
Ooh, what's your score?
Well, that's a good question. It was pretty good. I would like to say, I'm going to say 9.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
Yes.
Yours?
Well, look, I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
Because I'm just a bit disappointed with me being so close to ending uni. I'm still in that mindset. Yeah. Not in a bad way, but I could definitely have done a lot more with my kids than I did do, just because my head's in the clouds while I finish this last bit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think it's great that it's not, if it's a 5, you're right, it's not a bad thing. It's just accepting that it was a tricky time. Yes. You know, that we have to be honest as well. Absolutely. Because if we're not honest, other people can't be honest. Yes. So
That's it. It's important. There's a bit of a circle of trust here, and we're always going to be honest about the hard bits because that's why we're here.
I will be so honest, like you guys.
So in the coming weeks, Kylie, we'll cover topics like both of us are married, and incidentally, both of us are I always say we're both married to engineers, but Kylie's husband is a geologist, and I cannot get that wrong. I'm so sorry. So I do that all the time.
Yes.
And so we unpack what it's like being quite creative people married to very much, how would you describe it nicely? Black and white, formula driven.
Technical
yes. People. So there's a lot to unpack. So that's a whole episode. We unpack, we're chatting about kids and sport, kids and food, autism in the community, ADHD in women and men and children, inclusion in societies, schools, exclusion from schools. Goodness me, the list goes on.
Yes, it does.
So
I've also asked my middle son, Tom, to come and have a chat with us as well, just from his perspective on what it's like having a mum with ADHD, because he provides a lot of insight for me, and I would say he would be the one that's affected the most with it, in that he takes on the stress if I'm late or
it's really important, isn't it, to talk about that?
Yeah, and he's so excited to come and have a chat about it.
Oh, that's really healthy insight as well, because that's important. The kids they're very receptive.
Yes.
To their parents. I mean, I'd also love to chat to Matt, your husband, as well. I don't know if he's into that, but maybe with enough crowd support, we could get him on board.
Oh, no,
my husband would chat.
He'd be here tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
yes. Maybe we can have Dad's chat.
Look,
not
you
together.
just can't like them more.
Yeah, no.
Like they can't branch off and start their own podcast and then be in competition with us.
So we've got so much in store for you guys. It's fantastic for you to let us be in your ears. We can't wait to get to know you, and you have got so much to learn about us. It's going to really be a place where we hear the hard times and the great times, and together we're going to solve a lot of problems.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Em. So excited. I can't wait.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Neurolicious podcast.
If you've enjoyed this conversation and want to find out more, head to the Mumble Road Facebook page, where we share moments from the podcast and so much more.
Like stories you can relate to. And we'll ask you, the Neurolicious community, how things are going at your place.
We'll also answer your questions whenever we can.
Until next time, be kind to yourself.